Hi, my name is Jacqueline Roberts, and this is my case study for EDL 856, Module 16, Parental Apathy. So first of all, what do we know about this case study? First of all, Mrs. Rose has been the assistant principal of John F. Kennedy School for 4 months. There are currently no parent organizations such as a parent-teacher association or a parent-teacher organization. Mrs. Rose shares these concerns with her principal that she feels a lack of parental and community involvement is a problem. The principal replies that the parents were better off left alone, that he had been met with parental apathy in the past, and so he wanted to leave things as they were for now. Mrs. Rose decides not to say anything at that time and comes back a second time and shares her concerns again. The principal this time decides to go ahead and schedule a meeting, inviting parents interested in becoming involved. The night of the meeting, 8 parents show up, and the principal wants to cancel the meeting. What do we need to know? So, first of all, what type of school is this? Is it an elementary, middle, high school, or other? We need to dig deeper into what efforts were made in the past to involve parents in the community. What can we learn from those experiences and do differently this time? Obviously, something didn't go right, so how can we learn from those previous efforts and move forward? Why was the principal opposed to a PTA or a PTO? Was there an event that happened in the past that maybe he could be mentored or coached on? And why was the invitation to parents so vague? I think it would have been better to say, hey, we'd really like some parental involvement and we'd like to get your input on how we can do that. Here's our mission and vision. And maybe just be a little more specific in what they were looking for. I think being extremely vague might have caused some parents not to come that may have been interested. And finally, why did the principal feel that the 8 parents who did show up were biased? So next, after thinking of those things, we want to identify the problem. Ultimately, the school, parents, and community are not connected. Secondly, the principal is resistant and hesitant of certain involvement, for example, not wanting to have a PTO or a PTA. In order to resolve the problem, we need to develop a plan of action. First, I would say hold the meeting. Absolutely. Those 8 parents that showed up, use them, utilize them. They may be small, but maybe they're mighty. And, it can only, or the hope would be that it would only grow from there. So I would say, first of all, absolutely hold the meeting, value the time and the parents that showed up. Secondly, share the school's mission and vision with parents, because then when you ask for their input, they'll have an idea of where you're headed. And so send out a survey. Next, create a family and community engagement committee. Additionally, reach out to the district for support with PR experts. There could be someone in the district that can help you in this situation. And next, reach out to the community. So businesses, government, religious affiliates, and maybe there's other opportunities within your community. So in order to implement the plan, I would make sure to invite parents in the community into the school for special events. So rather than having them come and volunteer, make sure they're welcome at other times as well. For example, a school dance, grandparent and special persons day. I know people really enjoy that. Invite them to fundraisers as a participant rather than a volunteer. Make sure you use multiple communication methods. So this might be paper that gets sent home in a Monday or Friday folder, the website, email, maybe send attachments in email, additionally phone calls, maybe text. and of course social media such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. And then lastly, make sure face-to-face communication is open as well, that they feel welcome in the office, that they feel welcome coming to teachers' doors and talking to them, as well as principal doors. We want to make sure that once we send out that survey that we really utilize those results. So we want to analyze and interpret school, student, faculty, and community information from the survey. You don't want to send out a survey and then not actually utilize that input. Use PR expert help and information from the survey then to identify and use diverse stakeholder resources that can improve school programs. So from that survey, you might find that one of your parents works for an investment firm that does a community service project each year, and so they want to this year do the community service project at your school, for example. Family and Community Engagement Committee has a variety of voices, so you want to make sure staff, parents, community members, and perhaps students are even involved, maybe a student council. And of course, we want to think about what is best for all students during this whole process. And we know that students will feel valued, supported, and safe when parents and community members and staff work together. Parents and community members are visible in the school. This will help really build that community and have students feel safe and supported. And we want students to feel valued when results from the survey are taken into account. And also, students might see improvements take place in the school by utilizing those resources. For example, perhaps an outdoor classroom or a little library where you can take a book and put a book back and borrow books. And to continue to resolve the issue, not only will students feel supported, valued, and safe, but staff, parents, and community members will too. So throughout this whole process, and especially when I was reading the case study, I was really wondering why the invitation to parents was so vague. I thought that was a big misstep. What did student achievement scores look like? Without a community or a parent community that is, without them being involved, I can't imagine that the student achievement scores looked great. And additionally, how was the culture of the school, the staff and the students? I mean, again, I just don't feel like the culture could have been great without everyone working as a team. And what happened in the past that the principal ceased efforts to involve parents in the community? It sounded like he tried in the past and then really just quit making an effort. I did value Mrs. Rose for persisting in her efforts. She did not quit asking about parent and community involvement. She went back a second time. And I think this is really important going forward because how will the principal react to these suggestions and changes going forward? I think he'll still show some opposition, and so that persistence that Mrs. Rose showed will be of utmost importance. Still, I wonder, is the school able to have the additional resources to help build a collaborative culture? For example, would they be able to have a school and family liaison or help from the communications department in the district? And will the principal be able to win over and allow a PTA or a PTO? So this plan promotes the academic success of every student because this promotes a culture that everyone cares about students' academic success, and it gets everyone on the same page so the academics can be more streamlined between home and school. Additionally, we want to promote the well-being of every child, not just their academic success, but their social emotional success as well. Again, it can promote that culture that everyone cares about their social emotional well-being. And when students see everyone coming together, they will feel proud. They'll feel proud that, their parents came to an event or that their parents volunteered for an event or that they just see different people in the building. And finally, we want to make sure that the plan promotes community engagement. So it values those who are interested in supporting the school. So that initial meeting, by holding that meeting, even if it's a small group, it really values their time and their willingness. And the community will feel valued by building relationships with the school and students. And really, various cultures and perspectives are valued by inviting the community in and reaching out to the community. Thanks so much.